This is KGW News at Sunrise.
And good morning. Thanks for getting up with us on this Saturday morning. I'm Tim Gordon. This morning on Sunrise, shots ring out in Eugene. 6 people hit outside a popular concert spot, what investigators know so far this morning. Plus, with Omicron cases rising, local daycare facilities are facing the same staffing issues as schools, the personal challenges that's creating for a lot of families. But first, here's a live look from the coast. And if you live out there, you may have already gotten information about a tsunami advisory this morning. Now, here's the cause. An underwater volcano erupted near the coast of Tonga in the Pacific Ocean. You see the satellite imagery right there. It's what it looks like from the weather radar satellite over Tonga and New Zealand in that area as well. There are no reports of injuries so far, but people there are going to higher ground. So let's get to Chris McGinnis to tell us exactly what to expect here. Chris?
Yeah, good morning, Tim. There is a tsunami advisory in effect for basically the entire west coast of the United States. We can go ahead and take the graphic here, and you'll see that basically from the California-Mexican border all the way up through Alaska, we are on the lookout for some rising waves here as we go into the morning. So let me give you an idea of what we're expecting here locally across the Pacific Northwest. This tsunami advisory, TFN, means until further notice. The expectation at this point is that we could see 1 to 3 foot waves arriving along the Oregon and Washington coast in the 8 o'clock hour, maybe 8:30 or so. I've got some times up there, 8:30 in Newport, 8:35 along the Long Beach Peninsula, 8:45 in Seaside, Oregon. Widespread inundation is not expected at this point, but it is not advised to hang out along the beach for sure. And if you're in one of the low-lying harbors, remember that as these waves come in, they can come up pretty quickly and create a quick, 1, 2, 3 foot sea level rise in places like Newport. So that's something you need to keep a close eye on here and get to higher ground if you're in one of those locations here over the next couple of hours. Again, the onset here, the first waves probably coming in the 8 o'clock hour, maybe 8:30 along the Oregon coast. So we'll keep you posted on that. Obviously, we'll keep the look and the live look going there at Newport and watch how things develop. But anyone along the coast needs to be aware of this. Meanwhile, in the Willamette Valley, for the rest of us this morning, waking up to fog. There's a live look from our Rose City Sky Camera, 40 degrees. The air pretty close to saturation here, and you can see the current visibility right now at PDX down to a half-mile, quarter-mile visibility right now in Hillsborough and McMinnville. There is a dense fog advisory in effect for the Willamette Valley until about 10 o'clock this morning. The plan for today, areas of dense valley fog. That fog will slowly lift. I think we go partly or mostly to partly cloudy by lunchtime, and then this afternoon, I think it's going to wind up being a fairly decent day, Tim. I do expect to see at least some partial sunshine today with highs in the upper 40s. Your full forecast is coming up in about 12 minutes.
Okay, Chris, a lot of good information there. Thanks a lot. New this morning, Eugene police are hunting for a man that they believe shot 6 people outside a popular concert hall. Witnesses and police described the scene as complete chaos down there. Someone opened fire outside the Wow Hall in downtown Eugene just before 9:30 last night. Now, you may be wondering where this is in relationship to the U of O campus. You see the map right there. It's showing you everything with U of O there to the southwest of that hall. So far, there are no reports of casualties, but at least one victim is in critical condition early this morning. Police say their suspect is a lone male wearing a hood who took off running. That's about all anyone knows at this point. Police say they're trying to round up people who were there but took off running after the shots were fired. And turning to the pandemic now, COVID hospitalizations in Oregon continue their sharp rise with the Omicron surge. There are now 811 people in the hospital with COVID in the state. Hospitals were already very full with non-COVID patients. Now, in some cases, they're being pushed over capacity. At Salem Health, doctors are caring for 85 people with COVID. That's about 25% of all the patients who are there in the hospital right now. But the chief medical officer said Salem Health is actually at 112% capacity.
The difference now from a year ago is that we're greater than 100% capacity. So there's no room. And that's the part that's worrisome. And we're all holding our breath regarding flu and whether we're going to see that come this season as well.
Well, the concern is similar in Bend at St. Charles Hospital, where the chief medical officer says the ER is projected to get 3 times the normal number of people over the next month. Both doctors urge everyone to get vaccinated and boosted and also avoid risky activities that could land you in the hospital. Well, Washington is facing a similar situation. Governor Jay Inslee ordered the National Guard to help support hospitals in the coming weeks. Those resources are not set for Clark County, although that could change. The surge in cases there has never been stronger as it's been in the past week. And while many people may have mild or even no symptoms, plenty are getting sick enough to go to the hospitals. There are limited beds left too, including in ICUs, where 25% of patients have COVID. Officials ask that you don't go to the emergency room to get a COVID test if you don't have symptoms like trouble breathing that warrant a visit. Well, free at-home COVID tests could help ease the stress on hospitals and urgent care, and you can start requesting them next Wednesday. It's all part of the Biden administration's efforts to get more test kits to U.S. residents. Each household will be able to request 4 tests through a new government-run website. Tests should be delivered to your home in 7 to 12 days after you order, and you can start placing your order on January 19th. Well, this latest COVID surge continues to force schools to close or use remote learning. Friday, the Beaverton School District announced that Vos Elementary and Mountain View Middle School are both switching to remote learning. That now makes 8 schools in the Beaverton District going remote. We're tracking the list of school closures and other changes related to COVID. You can find the article up on KGW.com or text the word school to 503-226-5088 and we will send you a link to your phone. Well, Portland Public Schools has announced new safety measures that will allow students to stay involved in sports and other after-school activities. They include 50% capacity at games, concerts, and theater productions, with vaccinations and mask wearing required for everyone 5 years and up. The district will be keeping concession stands closed, and outside food and drinks will not be allowed in. Neither will overnight travel be happening. For reaction to these new safety measures, we reached out to the executive director of ED 300. It's a statewide organization of families devoted to keeping kids in school and activities.
We appreciate the need during a variant spike for reasonable mitigation steps, and but we just would ask that there be a pathway to off-ramp on these type of things.
Well, there's no timetable yet for when these new measures may go away. Until they do, Portland Public Schools athletes will be getting 5 tickets to home and away games. Games and matches will also be streamed online. With schools closing, many families are struggling to find childcare right now. Plus, daycares also are dealing with COVID cases. For example, take Scappoose Daycare. It temporarily shut down over a COVID exposure, leaving parents without any childcare, according to the state's Early Learning Division. In cases like this, they have to shut down facilities and wait on COVID test results to ensure the safety of childcare providers.
We don't have substitute pools like we have for K-12, which even K-12 is having trouble with substitutes. So it is a challenge of our system. And I think it's one of the challenges that exists because it's a system that's primarily built on the backs of parents.
Now, the state tells us it will continue to require a 10-day quarantine for daycares when there's a positive COVID case. Well, as the nation marks the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., students past and present are trying to save his namesake school in Portland. Friday, they rallied against a proposed relocation that could push out Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary. It is a complicated issue that deals with the I-5 expansion, and Catherine Cook explains.
Hold your sister's hand, sweetie. Hold your sister's hand. You two can stay with me.
There's something about elementary school that draws on a child's emotions. School pride that comes when they feel proud of themselves.
I'm learning how to read, I'm good at math, and it's just fun.
Honesty Davis is a second grader at Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School in Northeast Portland.
Yeah, it's good being in second grade.
At one point,
that's me, back in '63.
Rosie Willis was too.
My children went here and I had grandchildren that went here. This is a legacy. Why Why would you do that?
Why, they all wonder, would anyone take their school away? In this case, one of, if not the very first in the country, named for Dr. King.
So you all, we're gonna get ready to start marching.
They grabbed their signs and their parents' hands and marched like their school's namesake did. They hope their voices reach leaders in the Portland Public School District who are faced with the difficult challenge of their own. It starts along Interstate 5 near the Rose Quarter. The state approved plans to widen this part of I-5, bringing it closer to Harriet Tubman Middle School. Given the impact the expansion would have on noise and air quality, the district says the middle school would need to move. They've come up with two options: purchase new land on which to build a new middle school, or convert an existing district-owned site. The 7 properties they're looking at include King Elementary, the BESC Central Office, and Jefferson High School.
The district tells us they're early in the relocation analysis process, and no decision has been made on if or where they'll relocate Harriet Tubman Middle School. Still, those connected to Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School say they want this location off the table.
There's other opportunities to do something better.
This school needs to stay here. This neighborhood needs this school.
If we shut down this school, I won't be able to come here anymore, and there's no other good schools that I think I can go to that's good as this school.
It's a part of their identity and something they hope will be part of their future. In Northeast Portland, Catherine Cook, KGW News.